Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is November 8th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You can see BC, Washington, Oregon here. Here goes our upper level low, now diving down towards California here. Still trying to spread a few showers up over the Pacific Northwest. But as this moves into California, it's probably going to bring some wraparound moisture back up in through southern Oregon here, then eventually Idaho and Montana again for another round of wintry precipitation, especially for the higher elevations. We'll go some over those totals here in a moment. Taking a look here from Kyle Gustafson up in Vancouver, BC. Check out some of these very nice images here from the snowfall. You can see not much on the cement, but a very nice dusting of snow elsewhere across the area here. And another one, very nice pictures there. And you can see the clearing happening as we start to get this offshore wind flow across the area today. Probably got some very picturesque scenes coming up here over the next couple of days here as we clear out over a couple of days here across Pacific Northwest. Now taking a look here, Snoqualmie, look, 34 inches of snow up there on I-90 on Snoqualmie. You can see back in the winter of 17 to 18 here, and 2005, 2006, other years with fairly decent amounts there, but pretty good amounts. Early season snowfall here for Snoqualmie. And this is from Jeff Ryan here up on the slopes of Sequim, 700 feet. So you can see some of that upslope snowfall there falling across the region. Looks like several inches of snow. Nice job out there. Nice first taste of winter here across Pacific Northwest. Now, taking a look here, this is down towards where? We're looking at Missoula, Montana. Snow Tuesday night, Wednesday. This is that system. It's going to wrap around back up through Idaho and through Montana here through Wednesday here. So you can see some snowfall totals coming here. And right now, there are some wind chill advisories going on. Winter weather advisories continue. Winter storm warnings, winter storm watch, etc. Still active across portions of the Pacific Northwest here. You can see more impactful snow expected today for Medford. Let's take a closer look at it here. Klamath Falls, 2 to 3 inches here. But this is going to move up and across, and there'll probably be some locally heavier amounts associated with this band, this deformation band. It's probably going to stall out a little bit across some of these areas and even bring higher amounts across the region here. You can see how it kind of is going to come up through California and clip the southern and southeast portions of Oregon, Idaho, and Montana. This is the wind chills out here. This is for Spokane, Washington. Check these out. Some of these below zero through the Idaho Panhandle, northeast of Washington, down towards 3 degrees wind chill readings for Spokane there. And you can see you warm up a bit as you get towards the Tri-Cities in Yakima, Ellensburg over there. Taking a look at the hazardous weather expected, you can kind of see how this storm is going to track up through California again, through southeast Oregon, Idaho as we go. Winter weather advisory is in effect. Now, taking a look here, 100-meter wind speed. So let's take a look at this. You can see the Fraser River outflow going on this morning here. You can see these winds coming out through the area there and all the way off the coastline here, feeding that low pressure system as it moves down into California here. Offshore winds across the area. You can see the northerlies moving down the Puget Sound here, down through the Willamette Valley, the Okanagan River Valley, kicking some northerlies across eastern Washington. And we can see the offshore winds going through Oregon as well. And you see it kind of go through about Wednesday morning, then start to really slow down a bit here. Then we're going to get a little bit calm across the region, maybe a little bit of fog or whatnot across the area before another weak system tries to get here towards the end of this week. But we're not going to worry too much about that. The model's been changing quite a bit through the extended, but we are showing at least a couple dry days coming up here. And you can see the system as we're looking at it now. This is the European. This is actually this morning's running right now, currently, I believe, November 8th. Yep. So as we put this into motion here, you can see this activity come up towards the Sierra Nevada here, snowfall for the California area. But you can see a precipitation pull away from Washington and Oregon here a bit. And then the system wraps that moisture back around through Oregon, Idaho, and Montana as we go through Wednesday evening, finally kicks out. Then you can see this weak system try to approach the area here. Doesn't have much luck. Maybe gets down there into Oregon. We'll check that out here in upcoming runs here over the next day or two. Now looking at 12-hour precipitation, as you can see this storm pivoting down into California here, but then that band moves up across Oregon, Idaho, and Montana, and then kicks off to the east, and we'll start waiting for our next system to roll in here through the Pacific Northwest. We'll take a look at the extended forecast here in a moment. You can see 24-hour snow totals here, and again, we're probably going to get some locally higher amounts across this band of snow that moves through southern Oregon, Idaho, and Montana here, then kicks off to the east, and you can see some snowfall coming from that weak system as we go on through Friday and towards Saturday and the weekend. Look at the snow depth. You can see we've got a good early season snowpack building up across the Washington Cascades, down toward the Oregon Cascades as well, BC, and you can see off towards the Rockies as well. And as we put this into motion here, you'll see that snowpack increase here through southern Oregon. Maybe this will come a little bit further up the east slopes of the Cascades and help out the drought-stricken regions there. And then you can see the precipitation just kind of cut off there as we go towards the end of the run. Now, looking at the extended forecast here. Here's the European yesterday afternoon versus yesterday morning's run here. Let's go ahead and watch this. And you'll probably see some changes coming up here as that polar lobe moves through. The storm causes some issues through the northern plains and the extended here. And you see this ridging starting to develop here across Alaska and BC. See how the ridge changes shape, kind of model to model run here. And this polar lobe kind of clipped the area here in yesterday mornings, not showing that too much further east on this run. But the kind of the similarities between them are the strong ridging over Alaska and British Columbia here as we go through the extended. But we'll keep watching this because you can see this the system is stronger on yesterday afternoon's run out here over the Pacific Ocean here. So we'll see what it's going to take to get systems back in here. Hopefully we're not going to fog up too much and get dense fog around the region here. But now this is looking at 10,000 feet on the GFS. There's that cold air moving across California out into the northern plains. And then you can kind of see the ridging building across the area here. Some very cold polar lobe moves out towards the Great Lakes and the eastern portions. And you can see this very cold air up over northern Canada here, dive down back into the eastern portions of the country here. And then you can see maybe some systems coming through in the extended here as some colder air starts to get closer as the polar lobe reaches back out towards Alaska in the extended. But again, this is going to change run to run. We'll just monitor it for now. Now, taking a look here, Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, right around freezing for several days here, going through the weekend here. Then we start to warm up a bit as we go towards later next weekend. Seattle-Tacoma, again, this is showing the rainfall potential here. I'm just kind of showing this to show that it looks like we're going to start introducing systems as we go through mid-November, probably later November. Definitely going to be getting some rain back into the area here. But you can see relatively dry here for a few days going through this week, and potential for some precip moving in through later next week. Look at the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. You can see that polar lobe that moves down across the region here, November 13th through 17th, clearly shown here, still below average across the Pacific Northwest here. Look at Alaska, well above average with a big ridging over the Alaska area up there. Look at 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, man. Look at this bullseye on us here. Yeah, we're in our rainy season here, so anytime the rain doesn't come for a few days, you're going to get these crazy signals as such. 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, northern portions here still continuing below average to the Pacific Northwest as well. 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook. You can see this above average signal here for portions of Montana, California, Southern Oregon as well, but still that below average signal here. But this is probably going to be flip-flopping back and forth as we go day to day. Now, taking a look at La Nina here, we are now in a moderate stage La Nina. Let's scroll up here and take a look at where we're going as well. You can see by the time we get to really this month, we're going to start crawling out of this according to the latest CFS model here. And as you look here closely, you can see La Nina's in charge. This is the equator on this little map here. There's Hawaii, Pacific Ocean. See La Nina in charge through January. February starts to wane a bit. Here we go, March. You can really see that cold water starting to retreat a bit here. Look, by the time we go into May and June of next year, El Nino is starting to show its face here. And just because we get El Nino winters around here, like for next year, for example, that doesn't mean we don't get active weather. Sometimes we get good windstorms and even snowstorms in El Nino years. So just kind of showing you guys that. Let's back up a little bit here more and look at it here. As of September, we went into moderate territory, negative 1.0 there. And the actual value, for September was negative 1.0. I think we were actually at minus 1.1. I saw it up here somewhere. I might not be able to find it now that I'm looking for it, however. But anyway, there it is here. Nina 3.4, negative 1.1. So anyway, looking at the passes really quick here too, you can see we've got mostly bare and wet actually. They're doing a pretty good job of keeping the roadways clear up there. Stevens, Snoqualmie, you can see there, but still be careful. It's bound to be below freezing some of those areas up there across some of the backcountry and across some of the passes here. So still be careful. This is White Pass as well. Looks like snowplows are doing a good job at keeping the snow off the roads. And now looking off into the extended for a little bit of fun. This is a European Weeklies here, Portland International Airport. Check this out as you go through early December, starting to pile up the snowfall there across the Portland area here. And this is for Seattle, kind of showing the control run you see here with the temperatures getting down below 30 degrees here, maybe on in through early December. Purely fantasy at this point. This is just something I like to show to try to, liven things up around here. Once we get into a little bit of a drier period, it's fun to look out and see what kind of fantasy land stuff there is out there. It's not a forecast by any means right now. It's purely fantasy for now. So yeah, there goes our storm. It's now coming out of the region. We had some pretty good thunderstorms move across the area last night too. Some Hail accumulated in a lot of areas. I saw that downtown Seattle. We had some pretty good hail accumulating on the roadways. There a lot of water. It slowed down I-5 quite a bit. I had 2 rounds of hail here. Heard thunder yesterday when I was out at my son's soccer practice. So pretty nice storm moving through the area, and we had that snowfall up in the northern portions, Anacortes, Vancouver, BC, the slopes of the Northern Olympics as forecast got their snowfall as well. Victoria, BC looked like they were getting pretty good snowfall there yesterday as well. So you can see our storm is now becoming California storm and kicking off. I did a video on that this morning. See how that goes and see how people respond to it. If I do that again, we'll see. I'd like to kind of do that maybe a little bit when we have big storms impacting other areas, especially nearby. But anyway, you can see our cold air flowing off the coastline here. We're going to get some nice picturesque days. We're probably going to clear out here over the next couple of days across the region, get some nice sunshine. You'll be able to see the snow on the mountains out there, get your cameras out, take some pictures. And yeah, so we'll do this again tomorrow. We're trying to pinpoint when the next systems look like they're going to break into the Pacific Northwest. It's November, so it doesn't take much change here in some of these model runs to start to see this happening as well. So anyway, we'll do this again tomorrow. Hope you guys are having a good day, and I'll talk to you guys then.